Friends, before the video begins, please press the like button, share the video, and leave a nice comment. Your support motivates us to create even better videos for you. Auntie Han had successfully been accepted by the Ice Crystal Horse. Lu Fan felt extremely happy. Now Auntie Han finally had her own mount, which meant traveling would be much easier and safer for her. And as Lu Fan had promised everyone before, he intended to find a mount for each of them. So once again, Lu Fan returned to the Land of Despair. As he walked deeper into the frozen wasteland, only one thought occupied his mind. Although he truly wanted to capture an ice crystal beast for everyone, creatures like that were extremely rare. Finding even one had been lucky enough. Still, Lu Fan refused to give up. Just then, his eyes fell upon a small rock ahead of him. Curious, Lu Fan slowed his steps and stopped to take a closer look. But suddenly, a massive shadow appeared above him. A thunderous roar echoed across the frozen plains. Lu Fan immediately checked the status window, and what he saw made his eyes widen. The creature before him was a gigantic ice crystal mountain beast, level 120. Its body looked like an enormous moving mountain made entirely of ice and crystal-covered rock. According to the status window, its main ability was called Rock Arm Smash. The beast could swing its massive stone arms in a wide arc, destroying every target in front of it and dealing devastating damage. But that wasn't all. It had another terrifying skill. Ice Rock Avalanche? This ability allowed the monster to grab its target, throw them high into the air, and then slam them violently onto the ground. The impact alone could cause massive damage, but the real danger came after. At the moment of impact, sharp ice spikes would erupt from the ground, triggering a deadly avalanche that could bury everything nearby. And according to the status window, that enormous mountain-like monster possessed even more abilities. However, the details of those powers would only be revealed in the next chapter. Lu Fan was astonished to see the creature. This was the first time he had encountered a mountain mage in the secret realm of the Great Trial. What surprised him even more was that the monster in front of him seemed to be an upgraded version of the monster he had seen before. However, Lu Fan didn't hesitate. Without wasting a second, he immediately ordered Ji Uzi and Jin Chen to attack. Both advanced and launched a sneak attack from behind. Ji Uzi quickly released his powerful skill, Lava Blaze, sending a wave of blazing energy towards the mountain monster. But to everyone's surprise, the attack had no effect. The massive creature immediately activated its ability, Mountain Arm. Its massive rocky arms began to spin rapidly, sweeping across the battlefield, crushing every target in front of it and inflicting heavy damage. As the monster swung its massive arms, a dragon suddenly appeared before it. In an instant, the dragon blocked the swirling stone-like hands, halting the dangerous attack. At the same time, the black dragon, without waiting for Lu Fan's command, suddenly transformed into its fearsome world destroyer form. Its body transformed into a large dragon exuding tremendous power. As soon as the transformation was complete, the dragon let out a powerful roar. It activated the World Destroyer Roar ability. The sound was so powerful that the stone monster was distracted, completely lost. Seizing this opportunity, Jin Chen immediately activated another ability, Starlight Scale Armor. With the combined power of all the dragons attacking simultaneously, the enormous stone monster fell to the ground in an instant. The ground shook as its massive body fell. But the monster wasn't finished yet. He struggled and slowly rose again, preparing to let out another terrifying roar. But before he could do anything, Lu Fan had already moved forward. His fist was already heading towards the monster. Standing before the massive creature, Lu Fan shouted loudly, "This is my final attack on the mountain." And with this declaration, his fist flew forward with such force that it was unstoppable. Lu Fan intended to defeat the monster with a single punch. Without hesitation, he rushed forward at incredible speed, closing the distance between himself and the towering stone creature. But before launching his final strike, Lu Fan had already activated a powerful ability. The skill was called Divine Bone Descent. This was an extremely rare power that could only be used while equipped with the legendary Divine Bone Gauntlets. The moment the ability was activated, a faint, radiant armor formed around Lu Fan's body. It was the Divine Bone Armor. This armor possessed an extraordinary effect. It prevented any of Lu Fan's equipment from being captured or suppressed by starlight abilities. At the same time, the power dramatically enhanced his strength. Every one of Lu Fan's attributes, strength, speed, defense, and power, was instantly boosted by 300%. The energy surrounding him surged like a storm. With the power of the divine bone armor coursing through his body, Lu Fan charged forward like a meteor crashing toward the earth, his fist aimed directly at the gigantic mountain monster. A powerful explosion reverberated on the frozen ground. The massive monster instantly shattered into countless pieces. Rock and ice fragments scattered everywhere, and within seconds not a single part of its body remained intact. Lu Fan slowly rose into the air and stopped, hovering calmly above the battlefield. His dragons gathered around him, standing proudly like loyal guardians. Seeing the monster defeated so easily filled Lu Fan with immense confidence. At that moment, he felt confident that he could now defeat even the most dangerous level 120 beasts alone, or even face an entire group of them without fear. And once he finally found the Ice Dragon King, Lu Fan felt he would have a much better chance of battling the fallen god's terrifying might. But then Goji suddenly noticed something. His attention shifted in a different direction. He immediately called out to Lu Fan and pointed into the distance. Lu Fan looked surprised and asked, "Hey, what's wrong, Juji?" Then he narrowed his eyes and said mockingly, "Don't tell me there's another giant mountain sleeping there and preparing to attack us?" But as Lu Fan looked in that direction, he froze in shock. Below him was a nest of ice crystal monsters. Inside the icy nest stood several ice crystal horses, their bodies glowing with a pale blue glow. As soon as Lu Fan saw them, his face lit up with excitement. Wasting no time, he quickly advanced towards them. Just a moment ago, he was worried that he might encounter another dangerous ice crystal monster on the way, but now seeing this sudden discovery, he couldn't help but be grateful. Lu Fan smiled and said, "Guess I should thank that big mountain monster. If he hadn't come, I probably never would have found these horses." Just as Juji and Jin Chen were about to advance, Lu Fan swiftly stopped them. "Wait," he warned. "If you attack like that, they'll run away in fear." He immediately descended from the sky and landed gently near the herd of horses. Looking at them calmly, Lu Fan spoke in a reassuring voice. "Don't worry," he said softly. "I've just come to introduce you to your new owners." But the horses were clearly nervous. They looked scared, restless, and even a little angry as they stared at the stranger standing before them. But Lu Fan already knew what he had to do. Without hesitation, he summoned his blade armor and formed a sharp sickle-like weapon in his hand. Swiftly, he moved forward and began capturing the horses, skillfully tying their legs with the weapon's ropes so they couldn't escape. At the same time, he continued to speak to them calmly. "Relax," Lu Fan said. "I won't hurt you." After rescuing them, Lu Fan immediately opened a portal. One by one, he guided the captured horses towards him. In a few moments, all the ice crystal horses were pushed out of the portal, disappearing into the swirling light as they were carried to the other side. As soon as all the horses emerged from the portal, Lu Fan followed them out. As soon as everyone saw the beautiful ice crystal horses, they immediately rushed forward, petting them and praising them with joy. After all, they already knew that Lu Fan had brought these horses for them. But what surprised everyone the most was something else. Lu Fan held several small baby horses in his hands. Tianfu Island was a warm place, very different from the frozen lands where the ice crystal creatures lived. Not far away, there was even a hot spring beach where steam gently rose in the air. Lu Fan looked at everyone and said proudly, "I managed to capture 5 ice crystal creatures in a single day, 2 adults and 3 babies." Hearing this, everyone became even more excited. Soon after, Jian Ying successfully tamed a horse and made it his personal steed. Shortly after, Kim Ku also tamed another horse. They both happily mounted their horses, and soon the ice crystal horse spread its wings, lifting them into the air and soared majestically over Tianfu Island. As they soared through the sky, everyone watched in awe. But on the ground, things were very different for everyone else. Jia Oman sat on the ground with an angry face. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't tame any of the horses. Lu Fan noticed Jia Oman sitting on the ground and lightly tapped his head. "Oh, it looks like Jia Oman doesn't have a mount yet," he said. Jia Oman lowered her head sadly and replied, I'm the only one here who doesn't have one. She sighed and muttered it to herself. Maybe these creatures are only attracted to beautiful girls. Maybe I just don't have that kind of charm. But just then, a small baby horse slowly walked toward Gia Oman. The tiny ice crystal creature stopped right in front of her. Gia Oman looked at it with surprise and gently smiled. Hey, little one, she said softly, do you want to play with me? At that exact moment, the status window suddenly appeared. It showed that Gia Oman had successfully tamed the small horse. Seeing this, Lufan was shocked. Wait, hold on, he exclaimed. This actually worked. You successfully tamed the little one. Gia Oman's eyes immediately sparkled with happiness. Wow, she said excitedly. I really tamed it. Now I finally have my own mount. Seeing her so happy made Lufan smile as well. But he quickly reminded her. Hey, Gia Oman, a creature this small can't be used as a mount yet. It's still just a baby ice crystal beast. You should keep it as a pet for now and take good care of it until it grows up. However, Gia Oman didn't mind at all. She happily hugged the tiny creature and nodded eagerly. Yes, Lufan, I know, she said with a bright smile. Don't worry, from now on, this little one will stay with me. Kim Ku looked at the two remaining horses and made a small face. Hey, Lufan, he called out. Something seems strange. Look at the other two. They look a little uncomfortable, almost like they're suffering from the heat. Hearing this, Lufan suddenly realized something. Oh, okay, he said slowly. It seemed he had forgotten something important. He quickly explained. The weather on Tianfu Island is probably too hot for them. These ice crystal horses come from very cold areas, so this environment is too hot for them. He looked at the horses again and said, This kind of heat isn't good for their natural habitat. Kim Ku nodded worriedly. Yeah, if this continues, they might get heat stroke, he said. This hot air could do a lot of harm to them. Even Aunt Han looked worried. He gently patted a horse and asked Lufan, So what should we do now, Lufan? We've worked so hard to bring these cute little creatures here. We can't let them suffer like this. For a moment, everyone looked worried. But suddenly, Lufan remembered something important. A confident smile appeared on his face. He looked at everyone and said calmly, Don't worry, everyone. I already have a solution. Without wasting a moment, Lufan immediately activated the power of the two-headed great dragon form. This was a special ability that demonstrated the legendary bond of trust with the two-headed great dragon. Anyone possessing this power was considered a true companion of the dragon. And whenever the companion called for help, the two-headed great dragon would respond. Lufan slowly closed his eyes and focused on one point. He then said softly to himself, Great Dragon, you who control the forces of ice and fire, return to Tianfu Island immediately. I need your help. As Lufan called it out to them, a deep rumble resounded in the sky. A portal suddenly opened, spinning the place around, and within seconds, two powerful dragons appeared from the swirling light. As they arrived, one of them said in a loud voice, So, you finally realized your strength, haven't you, Lufan? The second dragon laughed softly. As I promised before, whenever you call, we will come. Lufan didn't waste time explaining. He immediately gave them a command. Use your ice element power, he said firmly. Turn the northern plains of the Shadow Fortress into frozen ground. Create an ice field there immediately. The dragons looked toward the distant plains. Hearing Lufan's words, the dragon confidently replied, All right, using my element to reshape the atmosphere is very easy. If I want, I can even turn the rest of the island into flowing lava. The dragon paused and proudly declared, A world of ice and fire. As soon as Lufan heard this, he immediately shouted, Hey, brother, that won't be necessary! But before anyone could stop him, the dragon suddenly let out a powerful roar. A powerful surge of energy erupted in the sky. In the next instant, snowflakes began to fall and a cold wind blew nearby. Soon, snow and frost covered the ground everywhere. At that very moment, the status window appeared in front of everyone. It clearly displayed the following information. Area name, Tianfu Island. Area level, level 2 area. Area size, 431,800 square kilometers. Location, Black Sands Sea region. The system notification continued. The area had now reached a completely new level, and a massive ice field had formed around the entire area. Watching this incredible scene, both Kim-ku and Jia-uman were astonished. Kim-ku looked at the frozen ground in amazement. Wait, is this really an ice field? The dragon laughed and replied calmly, Sure, brother. Look around. It's much easier to breathe here now. Lu Fan didn't waste any more time. Without hesitation, he immediately returned to the scene. By then, night had begun to spread over the ice field like a dark wave. Lu Fan had already arrived near a frozen mountain valley, while Xiaoji and Jing Chen flew beside him in the cold night sky. Just then, Lu Fan moved ahead and warned all the dragons, telling them to stay alert. There might be danger ahead, he cautioned. The dragons slowed their flight slightly, keeping their senses sharp as they followed him through the cold night sky. While flying forward, Lu Fan fell deep into thought. It's fine, he told himself. Jianying now has his own mount as well. Before leaving earlier, Jianying had reminded him seriously. The ruins of the Dragon King will definitely be dangerous. Be careful on the way. Those words echoed in Lu Fan's mind as he continued flying across the endless frozen land. After a moment, Lu Fan shook his head and whispered to himself, I shouldn't waste any more time. Right now, the only thing that mattered was the ice field of despair. The cold wind howled across the snow-covered plains as he sped forward through the dark sky. Not long after that, Lu Fan finally arrived near the ruins of the Ice Dragon.